you ended up doing the one thing that I thought like no one was meant to do, and that was split the party.
Yes.
What I want to do, we'll go back. We'll leave Gil over on the side for now. We'll just move back to the rest of the crew who basically managed to kill Clark and the Goblin. I believe the Baron was down by sort of the water ponds or the little sort of things to the north and was managed to get those kind of the dam broken and flooded the corridors again with the help of Gil before he ran off. Lorros started pilfering what was in the treasure chest, managing to find all the coins and a small jade statuette of a frog that he gave to Miraqen. Lorros, it's probably around this time that you noticed Gil's nowhere to be seen. So that's probably it's probably a good place to start.
Okay, so obviously, yeah, looking around, has anyone seen Gil? He was right there when I started
looking. He must be
looking
outside by the ponds, surely.
Would you mind having a look?
Yes, I have a very sore shoulder, as you can probably see. And I think it's about time that we had a bit of a rest. What do you guys think?
I'm a little concerned about Gil. I did promise that I'd protect him, and if he's gone wandering, I'm not so sure that he's actually safe.
I'm just going to check these boxes while you guys are talking.
Baron, you might remember that right after you guys kicked that dam, Gil ran off to just check the status of whether or not he succeeded with that sort of flooding of the water out of the tunnel.
Is that what he said?
Well, all you know is that he ran off. He ran off off to the west.
I'd forgotten that. Yeah, well, the last time I saw him was out by the pond, and he ran off, I think. Yeah.
How foolish.
He probably needed to go to the bathroom.
Hang on, you said he ran off alone in a goblin cave.
Yeah, well, when nature calls.
This seems to me rather foolish, Sigg. I'd suggest that we go find him, but I have not got the foggiest idea where he could have gone.
Yes, let's backtrack, perhaps. Surely he couldn't have wandered too far. Miraqen, can you use your night lookers and see if you can see him?
Yes, I can use my dark vision, as I call it. I shall go on ahead and see if I can retrace his steps. Foolish of him, incredibly foolish to run off in such a dangerous space.
As you enter that area of the cavern, you can see the water still pouring in from the waterfall above you, and it's just now sort of nicely flowing from pond to pond and down the river. So it's not building up. They're all both sort of half full now.
Can I sense anything about his whereabouts? Or where he may have gone? Tracks or anything around the environment?
Yeah, I mean, give me a perception check.
I shall do so. I definitely know how. It is done. I have rolled a 21.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. Okay, what you can see is basically a little set of wet footprints heading sort of, over towards this sort of area. You can only assume that they occurred thanks to kicking the rocks free and the water overflowing.
Excellent. I call out to everybody, follow me. The little fool scampered off this way.
Very good. I guess we follow her.
You coming, Mr. Lorros?
Slowly but surely. Don't go too fast. Remember, I'm blind as a bat in these things.
Well, you've still got your torch?
I've still got my torch, so yeah. I'm carrying my torch, obviously, for now. Although, maybe, how long would it have burnt down by now? Because I have another one, but I'm just wanting to make sure.
We'll just say that you managed to light the other one, okay?
All right.
Proceed with caution.
Cool. As you sort of make your way over towards this...
rid of all the goblins, at least.
What was that, sorry?
I think we've gotten rid of all the goblins, at least, so we shouldn't have too much to worry about.
I'm just going to go down this way, just in case he went this way.
Cool. So you can see that the sort of the footprints have started sort of drying out as you get to the crest of the bridge. And yeah, that's kind of all you've got to go by at the moment.
Let us proceed across the bridge.
Cool. Lorros, where you are, it's just kind of all wet, thanks to it having flooded a couple of times now. So there's
yeah, that's cool.
There's no sort of tracks or anything for you to be seen.
Cool. Can I see down as far as where these bodies are, or have they actually gone down further down the stream?
Well, they're not in your line of sight. So, but if
Cool.
they have, as far as you know, they've just been washed out of the cave so far.
All right, cool.
You've taken the torch with you, so I'm just I'm moving cautiously across this bridge.
Yeah.
Does Sigg also have a torch?
Sigg is now rummaging in his backpack for a torch since Lorros boosted away.
I can see
Lorros.
Yes. I can see Lorros down there,
Here we go.
can't I?
Oh yeah.
Oh, amazing! Sigg, you truly are a resourceful man.
I'll just put it slightly off camera for now.
Oh, well done.
Okay, cool.
And with that, Sigg is going to cup his hands around his mouth. Gil!
Cool. Where you're at the moment, the sound of the water is still sort of drowning everything out. Even Miraqen can sort of only just hear you, despite only being 10 to 15 feet ahead.
Mr. Lorros, do you see anything?
Just a whole lot of water.
What you can see, Lorros, as well, is just across the other side of this river is this little area here. It just looks like a lot of small stones, and it kind of leads up a bit of a treacherous path. It looks climbable.
Right. Yeah, I remember seeing that on the way into the cave, which is why I'm sort of heading that direction now.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to go up that way just to sort of see, because I know what's come down this side. Where am I? Yeah, so I know what's down here, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of the planet, so I want to head up there at some point.
From that position, you can kind of just see two lumps that look like just bodies have washed up sort of on the edge of the water on the outside
Brilliant.
of the cave. Miraqen, what would you like to do at this point?
I call out to Lorros. What can you see?
Stones, bodies, all the way down. Those two bodies of the goblins down at the end of the river, I suspect.
Unfortunately,
And
neither of you can hear each other despite any sort of
awesome.
cries. The sound,
Splitting up the split up party.
the sound of the water is drowning out. As far as Lorros is concerned, he hasn't heard a thing.
Well, I'm sure he's a strong, capable barbarian. He can handle himself, I hope. Shall we proceed?
Nay. Splitting further up sounds foolish to me. I'm going to wave my lamp back and forth in an urgent-like manner.
That is something you can see, Lorros.
Would I see that? Oh,
Yeah.
Return the wave of my torch to sort of say that I've seen him.
It's like at a concert.
Yeah, you can see Sigg's face, although you can't hear any sound. You can't hear anything coming out of his mouth, but you can see Sigg's face.
I'm just gonna with my torch sort of behind my hand. I'm gonna point up towards so stand there with my torch by myself and point up so I can see my hand, and I'm just gonna point like I'm heading upwards.
Okay.
And kind of indicate that I'll meet him up there.
I think Mr. Lorros is asking us to shove it somewhere, but I'm not familiar. Baron, what do you propose this is all about?
He's possibly had enough of us and he's decided to go it alone. Or he's pointing in that direction.
Miraqen, what do you
Go
know
with
about
whatever you
directions and shoving?
Well, I can't control his actions. He is a strange and brutal creature. I say we carry on.
Your senses haven't led us wrong thus far. I'll follow you.
I feel safer now that we've gotten rid of all the goblins.
All right. I carry on through the passage.
All right. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna move back over to Gil. Is John there?
Yes.
Okay. We can't see you for some reason. That's
John
right.
is-
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
There it is.
Alright.
Hey!
So
Because he was lost, right?
we'll carry on from where we left off with a yes. And John, I'm gonna need you. So let's get the turn tracker on. I'm gonna need you to roll for initiative.
Oh,
Yeah!
I have a feeling this is an important role.
this is the first time
Oh,
I've
nice
had
work,
the
John.
3D dice on. I didn't even know they existed.
and we are all rolling for
No,
initiative?
no, we're just gonna have John.
Just
Guys, stop rolling.
I want to keep that roll. It's awesome.
No, we
Oh,
okay.
Oh.
All right. John, that was a good roll. That
What'd
was
you
that was a much needed roll of 21 to get this going. So as the cries of this goblin leader call out, you sense all of the goblins turn towards you, and you know this is not going to be good for you. What do you do?
I have a series of questions for the dungeon master.
Sure.
Oh.
Could you please describe the room?
The room is it's quite hazy with smoke from the cooking fire that they've got going on. There's a bit of a smell of the cooked flesh that these goblins are clearly cooking. Human arms and legs. They've got limbs that they're holding. There's bedding as well. And as mentioned, there is a small pile of Admit 1 tickets near their beds. There's a little set of stairs leading up to the upper landing, which is about 10 foot up. Standing on that upper landing is a goblin that's he's wearing slightly different gear than the others. He looks a little more intense and, if not, a little more crazy.
I see. My next question was a description of the goblins, which you've provided.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question mechanically.
Okay.
So, based on the rules of the game, an object interacting with an object is a free action. What I would like to know is, from your perspective, what constitutes interaction, and can I throw something as a free action, or would that take my action or bonus action? Or
It would depend what you're throwing it at and what you're throwing. If you were throwing a blade at a goblin, that would be classified as an action.
a flask of oil at the ground.
Okay. I think. What would I rule that as? Because that's if I think of it as in something that might take 6 seconds. Yeah. The act of reaching into your bag to grab the flask, and the action of throwing. I'm going to put that down to a bonus action.
Okay.
I'm going to make that a bonus action.
In that case, I am going to run in this direction.
Okay.
after you've thrown the oil?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh.
That was a lucky roll.
I run up here.
Yeah, because the other
the-
goblin got a 20
My
and you
gosh.
got a 21.
Yeah. Is that all you'd like to do on your turn?
No, I'd like to keep running. I see my comrades and I say, "Goblins, run!" And I keep running and assuming that they let me pass.
Yes, I do.
I will, however, throw a parting shot, tossing the flask of oil behind myself.
Okay. What sort of where are you aiming for that to land?
Sort of here.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll just make a bit of an oil patch there, yeah? We'll just put that in there. Okay, cool. Is that you?
If I can... So I started here. 15 feet. 15 feet. Taking the dash action, I move down onto the bridge.
All right, he's running for it.
Where surely I spy Lorros.
Yeah, you do see Lorros sort of at the base of the sort of down in the water at the base of that little exit off to the west. Okay.
I end my turn there.
Okay. Next up is the goblin leader.
Totally normal.
Who you can just, as you were sort of maybe around this kind of area, as you were heading out before you managed to get to meet up with your crew, you just heard sort of the leader of the goblins just yell, "Don't go after him! Let them..." Well, actually, he'd probably just say him, actually. "Let him come to us!" And that's all he's going to do. But
Did we hear that?
no, that only Gil would have heard that as he ran out.
As he was running. Oh.
Yeah. But one of the goblins was already sort of chasing after Gil as he went. I'm just going to have a perception check for this little guy.
What kind of oil is that, Gil? Is that like olive oil or
It's a flask of cooking oil.
cooking oil?
No, actually, I believe it might be lamp oil.
Okay.
Because the last thing they need is some more lamp
Cooking
oil.
lamp oil, to be sure.
Cooking, yeah. Unfortunately, the goblin
Massage wax.
sees the sort of shine coming off the ground and leaps over it. He sort of comes face to face with Miraqen. Miraqen and Byrem and Sigg, can you all please roll initiative?
Okay. Oh, almost landed on a 16. I got a... Wait.
I have
Seems
rolled
I got a
6.
20.
You got a 20, yeah.
But the actual dice said a 3.
Oh, that's weird. That's very weird.
Mine also says 3.
Yeah, your one says 3 as well.
Sigg rolls a 5.
Cool, great. Well, we'll go in highest order from you three before we get onto the next round. So we'll start with... where are we? Oh, wait a minute. Baron. The Baron Byrem. What would you like to do?
Ugh. Well, I'm surprised by the current preceding event from the last 6 seconds.
The goblin also is surprised, which is why he didn't attack. He wasn't expecting multiple people after seeing just Gil.
I was flattened up against the wall. I looked that way to see Gil run past me. I turned the other way to see if anything was chasing him, and this goblin appears. I'm just surprised there's any left. So, but I am going to attack it. That's what I'm going to do. We can't occupy the same space, can we? Oh,
You'll be able to fit side by side there.
Like in the... Oh.
If you hold down Alt, you'll be able to sort of position it more precisely.
Oh, okay. Well, I think as long as I'm within like 10 feet, I'm going to do right. I'm going to do this. It's going to be poison spray.
Oh,
Hey!
Yay. I think I've got to... I don't have a magic spell. I don't have time.
Oh.
But I did draw a picture.
Nice.
That's the closest I get when I was sitting on the couch before. Last week I had time to like
Very
hang
nice.
fishing rods, hang knives from a fishing line. Okay, so this is an action, and I extend my hand towards the creature. and I project a puff of noxious gas from my palm. So I rifle through my pocket, breathe some noxious dust towards it, and it must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 poison damage.
All right, let's see how it does.
And-
And this goblin crit fails.
Oh,
Basically, as as it came towards him, in shock he gasped and basically just went straight down his
Oh, he breathed it in.
esophagus. Yeah, he just breathed it all in.
Like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. He's not doing too well. So what happens to him? How much damage does he take?
1d12 poison damage.
Okay.
So
Yeah, get
I
that.
guess I'll put that in here. 1d12. Oops, I think I've just rolled the wrong one.
Oh no, that was right. 1d12.
Oh,
that's 10.
it's amazing. You can just click the thing. So
Yeah. So with 10, you just see the sort of, as he comes running around, he's in shock. He sees you. You pull in, your hand into your pocket. You bring out the dust and just blow it right into his face. He gasps in shock as it all just somehow all of it manages to go straight in through his nose and his mouth, and he clutches at his throat and he's clawing at his face, and he's just like. And he's clawing at his face, and he just drops to the ground dead.
oh,
He's
I've never tried that before, but that was effective.
yeah, that was very good. But
Great. I guess that's the last of them.
yeah, exactly. As far as you guys know, that was the only goblin Gil has seen.
That's the end of my
Yeah,
turn.
we'll turn off the initiative for now. But I think
Miraqen stands there and goes, "Wonderful work with your miraculous dust. Amazing."
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just keep that in my pocket for just such an occasion. Would happen.
Quick, let's go. Come on.
We must catch up with Gil.
Goblins. So many goblins.
More?
Mr. Gill, how many were there? 60? 100?
16, 17 goblins.
This is bad.
Let us retreat back to the
17
area
goblins.
with the things.
I didn't have time to count them, but it seemed like a lot.
Okay.
At least
Maybe
one
we should
full room.
At least what?
One full room.
We must retreat. We are weakened.
The one that seemed to be their leader seemed to ask them to stay back and wait for us to come to them.
It's probably not
It
going to
is
happen.
troubling when goblins have enough sense for strategy. I agree with Miraqen. Let's retreat back to the room with the boxes and the stuffs.
Should we just get out of here? It seems like they're eating the people from the last tour.
So no survivors then?
None that I saw.
Mr. Gill,
Okay.
will we not travel this way on our return after we've been to Phandelver?
Close.
We need not come this far north.
Are you sure there was no survivors? I mean, that's the entire point we came in here.
I couldn't be too sure. I mean, we don't know how many came down here, but I saw several bodies.
Did you explore the full extent of these caves, Mr. Gill?
No, just to where I saw the goblins, but I don't believe there are any other paths that do not cross with the goblins.
Do you
We
think
need
that
to
they
run.
might have humans? I guess you didn't get to see, did you?
What were they eating?
Is that what that horrible stench is coming down the hallway?
I believe so. Yes.
Don't even use garlic. I bet it's not even olive oil. Well,
If there truly are
torn
17,
here.
We cannot stand a chance against 17 unless we have something truly
True.
potent against them.
Yeah.
It may have been less.
We
it may have
almost
been
died
more.
with this 6 or so.
There was certainly a full room of goblins eating people, which is not something I wish to revisit.
Now, Lorros, you haven't heard any of this conversation. You're sitting down. You see that they're maybe back up on the bridge. What would you like to do?
Did I see Gil as he ran across the bridge? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming it was dark, but did I catch him or catch a figure running across the bridge?
Yeah, there was enough light from Sigg's torch that you would have seen a bit of a shape running across the bridge. You may not have noticed it as Gil's.
Okay.
With your torch, though, torch, you may have seen at the top of this rise a figure running past there, followed closely with another figure behind him.
Okay, so would I have heard the goblin expiring with the acid?
No, you've got the
Would he
water.
have made any noises? No.
You're right
Okay.
in the water at the moment. You wouldn't have heard a thing.
So given what I don't know, I'm going to have to play this as what I don't know as opposed to what I actually can see and what I know. I'm just going to start climbing up the path.
Okay.
Carefully, slowly, just sort of checking out what's going on. I've seen the figure run past. Obviously, I couldn't tell whether it's Gil or not. And no one's actually called out to me or anything like that. So I'm just going to walk up that way.
Can I get a dexterity saving throw from you?
Dexterity saving throw? Sure. I rolled a 4.
Oh.
Okay. As you make your way up.
Too big to be dexterous.
Yeah, as you make your way up, you notice the stones kind of quite easily give way, and as you make your way up onto that sort of midway platform, it just collapses with the weight of you.
Oh, joyous!
I'm gonna have to roll some damage for you now.
Oh dear!
Because you didn't succeed on the dexterity check, so you've kind of slid or tumbled your way back down into the water.
What's a graze or your bruise here or there? Come on.
So you're gonna take 2d6 damage.
Whoa! Oh.
Hell of
Bested
a
by
roll,
rocks.
that.
All right, so Lorros, you find yourself face down in the water at the bottom again.
Awesome.
And you've taken 7 damage.
Oh, motherless goat! Damn, 7 damage.
It's a lot.
The way up is now almost completely unclimbable now.
All right, sweet. I guess we're not going up there.
What I would say though is that you did just before you fell saw at the top of this of the cliff what looked like a goblin, but slightly different for you. Basically, he looked a little different,
Okay.
and he was dragging what looked like another shape behind him.
Okay, so in my rather heavily damaged state, thanks to rolls, I'm basically just going to stagger back towards where I came from. So sort of just staggering up this way with the aim to heading back to this room up here.
Okay. Gil, what are you up to while Lorros is making his way up?
Catching my breath mostly, but just explaining that I guess the situation, I believe we should retreat for now at least. I saw no survivors.
I agree, we must retreat. If there are even half the number you suspect, we could be killed incredibly easy. We're on their turf. We need to get out. We made a huge mistake.
Well, I just think it's a shame.
I start running away. I'm having none of this.
I was just thinking that it's a shame that we've killed their oppressive leader and now's their chance to form a new system of government, maybe rule themselves more in a more egalitarian way, maybe form a democracy, but we aren't even able to tell them that they're able to do that sort of thing now that they're out from under the foot of that Australian bugbear. But I guess they'll discover that themselves.
Nobody wants to follow a guy named Clark.
Yeah, they didn't have much choice. It was an oppressive ruler.
It's a damn shame.
Sigg, what are your thoughts?
Indeed, all of you have said some wise words, but you've also said some trollop and some shite as well. We need to kill them. Every single last one of them. We know they have murdered humans on this path. We have broken the majority of their number. I refer to my sweet little book. It's plenty 12-teen, I think we've already killed on this day.
Plenty 12-teen.
12-teen. We do need to regroup. So I'm going to protest thoroughly that we go back to the room with the cheese and regroup there. There's cheese.
Okay.
Cheese?
There was. There was definitely cheese.
There was cheese.
Well, I could go for some cheese now.
There we
Some
go.
quince?
Cheese is happening.
Quince paste.
Ooh, cheese, you say?
That was the high point of my speech. Thank you, Mr. Gill. And Sigg's going to
towards the cheese.
intend to lead the party back to the room.
All right, Lorros, we're about to you now.
Where am I? Yes, so still staggering up here because I am, as so aptly pointed out in the chat, on 1 HP. So literally dragging myself up on all four hands and knees, just kind of crawling up the stairs.
Miraqen sees him and goes, "My spirits, what has happened to you? More goblins?"
It looks like your face has been grated off.
Don't go up don't go up that way. Rocks, slippery, and goblins. I saw one coming.
So you are worse
and I'm just going to slump.
Oh my
So I'm basically face first on the deck, kind of not out, but just sort of tired.
This is bad.
I try to lift his heft with my arm under his shoulder.
Did someone not find?
Don't we have any potions? Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you guys did find 2 potions.
There were a couple of potions feeling somewhere. Yeah.
Drag him to the cheese room. He's going to stick through there.
Sigg will help with the hefting.
Nice. I was going to get you to roll the strength, but with 2 of you, I think it'll be easy enough.
See if we can move in sync. No, not at all.
I'm assuming you're dragging me that way.
Yeah. Jeez. Put him by the fire to keep him warm.
Now, and
I
this
run up
is
to the crack and watch.
utmost important. I believe someone said cheese.
I think you're entirely too calm right now.
Miraqen has the wise stance. You watch the crack, I'll watch the stairs. And then we can chat and discuss how we will murder these foul scum.
You heard me say cheese, right?
In the back, Mr. Gill, in the back.
Sigg is the only one making sense right now.
I'll prepare some crackers.
I go in search of cheese.
All right, so what were you guys really wanting to do in this area? Are you just keeping a lookout, or are you wanting to rest up? What are you wanting to do?
May I roll perception to see if any enemies are coming?
Sure, you can absolutely roll.
I will do so.
I'm gonna look for that healing potion to give to Lorros. It looks like he's been through a greater.
Mr. Baron, I have got one in my pocket here.
Oh, you do?
We do, yes. But Mr. Lorros, I think you'll be okay if we just rest a bit. I know my shoulder's pretty sore with the old stabby I've got in it at the moment.
Those look heavy.
How about the old whatnots? Have you got plenty more of those, Miraqen?
I do not. I need my whatnot restored.
Mr. Gill, how's your fantastic song?
I'm struggling to find the words.
If we keep watch, I think this room may be quite secure.
Yeah, with
Let's do that, I think.
With your perception roll of 12, you don't hear anything out of the norm. You just hear the water trickling in from, or like pouring in from the waterfall outside the cave.
I will keep watch if you lot need rest.
I propose a shift system. I could use some rest myself.
Should we go for a long rest or a short rest, do you think?
I'm happy to keep watch for a short rest if I could at least wake everybody.
I do not know what a short rest is comprised of.
It's roughly an hour. Low volume activity.
Gives you a chance to expend your hit dice to get health back if you need.
I see. But not spells.
Not spells.
No.
Unless that's something your class or race can do.
I need 4 hours to regain my magics.
I propose we rest for 4 hours with Mr. Gill's suggested baton medley of short rests while Miraqen gets her whatnots. What about you, Mr. Baron?
Well, I'm able to do one more decent spell. If I had a long rest, I could do 2. So it doesn't bother me too much. I can do whatever, as long as I find some crackers.
Good man. Mr. Lorros, how much rest do you need to mend your scrapes?
Raise my head and shake it. There's no time to rest. The goblins are coming. They'll be upon us in a matter of minutes.
Well, then drink your health potion, good sir, and we will kill them till we die.
I can't remember. Did you took one? I can't remember who else I gave one to.
Yes, I've got one, but I'm going to use this later.
Yeah, I figured that. There was 2, but I can't remember if I kept one myself or if I gave it to anyone else. I know I didn't. Actually, I think I noted it down. I probably kept it myself. I did.
Yeah, I think you pocketed all of the coins and one of the health potions.
That's right. I pocketed all the coins and one health potion.
Yeah.
So yeah, with my semi kind of conscious state, I'm just gonna knock back one of the health potions, or the health potion that I have. Can you inform me as to what I rolled as far as points back? Hang on.
Let's have a quick look.
Health potion. There you go.
Potion.
2d4 plus 2 hit points. There we go. I will roll 2d4 plus 2. Let's have a look. Roll 2d4 plus 2. And I roll a 6.
6. Nice.
It's better than nothing.
Almost negated the damage from the fall.
Utterly ridiculous fall. What kind of mean DM makes me fall down a cheese grater of rocks? Just cruel.
Speaking of cheese, could I please have some?
Yeah, what's the cheese situation? Have I found the cheese? Is there any other food?
Roll for cheese.
Yeah, what do I roll for cheese?
Well, let's have a look.
Investigation?
Yeah, let's investigate
Survival?
the cheese.
Okay. All right.
I rolled a 19 for cheese.
19. You notice that it is definitely cheese. And
Can I make out the year?
No, it looks. You can't tell the year, but you can tell that it's maybe has been out in the open for maybe a little too long. It's probably still edible, but there's a bit of a layer on it.
I only got a 7.
Yeah, you only half think it's cheese.
And that's with a plus 5 modifier.
Is it a hard cheese or a soft cheese?
It's a soft cheese.
Oh, in that case,
Is it supposed
the
to be
layer
soft?
on the outside is good.
Yeah. Are you all rolling for cheese?
I have rolled a 12 for cheese.
Okay.
Please give me 12 cheese.
I found this cheese.
12. I was looking for quince paste anyway.
Yeah. You've actually all found a different wheel of cheese each. They range in sizes, shapes, and flavors. But I think John has found the best cheese of the lot.
Did I disappoint you lot? I told you there was cheese.
This man speaks the
I
truth.
break the wheel in half and offer Sigg some of the best cheese I could find.
Thank you.
Can I investigate over in this area while everyone's resting? See if I think that's interesting.
Yeah, first of all, I
Out of
want to know,
place.
how long are you guys resting for? Is this a short rest? Is it a long rest? What are you guys thinking?
If the
So you're
party
saying
4
short
hours.
rest.
about 4 hours,
Oh, one.
4 hours.
Was a short rest is 1 hour or 4? Because a long rest is 8. Yeah?
1 hour.
Short rest.
1 hour
However-
for a short rest.
These two only need 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got time for any more than an hour, if that. I suspect the goblin that I saw running across the hallway as I was grinding my face will be on us in a matter of minutes. I suggest we make ready.
Oh. Well, I mean, we can rest until that moment arrives, no?
Sure.
Agreed.
I think if there truly are that many goblins, we could use some spells.
Agreed. Let's rest for as long as we can to a maximum of 4 hours.
Yes, and in the meantime, I'll just be chewing my food. Oh, after I investigate, I'd like to just ready in action and see if anyone shows up. I want to shoot them with a magic spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you sort of just go through the thing. You're seeing a bunch of cured meats, the cheeses, the potions that were there are gone now. So you don't notice anything above and beyond what was found in that area before, especially with a roll of 7.
Are you
It was a 2 plus 5.
Yeah.
Same with before. I don't trust these 3D dice.
Oh, the 3D dice are so good though. It looks
they
like
look
we got
good.
a follow from T.I.Heb. These names sometimes really hard. But thank you. It would have been the cheese special that you've come upon, but I'm sure that made you think this is the one to
I
follow.
expect the recap will be just about cheese.
Yeah. All right, so we can. Yeah. So what did you want to ready? In case you were interrupted.
I'm gonna just ready chill touch.
Okay. Did we want to skip forward to see if any events occurred? Like, what did you want to do?
Sigg will stand at the top of the stairs in between shifts with the others so he can get one short rest in the 4-hour break.
Okay. I'm just gonna do some rolling just to see what's gonna happen here. It's good so far. It's
Woohoo.
very good so far. That's very good. Your 4 hours go by completely uneventfully, strangely enough.
Excellent.
Maybe there was no goblin.
Mr. Lorros, so you... Okay. Mr. Gill,
It's
tell
not
us...
fair.
He appears to be still sleeping.
Mr. Gill, tell us everything that you saw. Take as much time as you need.
I believe now that I've had some time to recount, I believe that there were 6 goblins, minus the one that you so skillfully handled, Baron. One of them was strange. He looks stronger, larger than the others, and seemed to have presence and command. They were roasting body parts over an open flame, which at first I thought smelled delicious, until I recognized what they were and realized I shouldn't think that they smelled delicious, and that changed my mind.
Feel guilty. How do you think this goblin with presence compared to Clag?
Well,
Is he the leader?
I think Clark. I mean, who really wants to follow a guy named Clark?
You seem very stuck on that.
It's just, I just can't get over the fact that there's a perfectly good name, so close, and yet
Okay.
a different decision was made.
That
An
problem
important
with just
decision.
absolutely disgusting creatures.
Did you catch the new guy's name?
He didn't seem to have a name, as far as I could tell. He wasn't addressed. He seemed obsessed with the tour. I believe that the tour may have been some sort of ruse.
Agreed. Mr. Lorros, now that you've had your refreshment sleep, can you tell us anything else that you saw? How many? What was their position? Weapons? Armor?
I saw one, and then my face was ground into stones.
Anything else of note?
Nothing.
Indeed.
Sorry,
I
my
can't
friend.
tell you. Sorry,
It's
Lorros.
okay.
You continue.
We know there's more to kill. That is enough for me.
So how do we get out of here without them getting us?
Just while we're wondering about that, Sigg wonders how I do the hit points on a short rest.
Yeah, so you can expend one of your hit dice. So that should be like a 1d8, I believe. Maybe.
You'll only have one.
1d10.
You'll only have one.
So if you roll a d10, that's how many hit points you get back.
Plus your constitution modifier.
Plus your constitution.
Nice.
Oh, look at that.
8.
I should.
Oh yeah, you
Plus
can
3.
just click it in.
You just click it and it rolls it for you.
Yeah.
Where did you click
modifier?
it, good sir?
You just click in roll 20. You just click the hit dice thing and it rolls it for you.
Primo. I'll take the first roll, thank you.
So you'd add.
And each time you go up a level, you get a new hit dice. So
Yeah.
you end up with like, if you're 8th level, we get 8 hit die.
And you get half of them back on a long rest, is that right? So in this case, you get the whole one back?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Although normally you roll down, I guess you have to, can't roll down
Yeah.
half of a 1.
I mean, we can if you want. You can get 0 back.
I might take all of those hit dice back and get myself back up to normal health. That'd be nice.
So
now
it
that
seems like there was only 2 entrances to the place with the goblins that were off. You went up one, Lorros, and had a nasty tumble.
Slid down.
And
it's not possible to go back up there.
Is it possible to slide down it though? Not making a joke.
Probably at great risk.
Right.
You'd probably hurt yourself more than it was worth.
So really, there's only one way in or
And
out
that's
that we
towards
know
us.
of. There might be another way that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if we could maybe, if we do want to attack them, maybe we could set up some kind of trap, or I guess it's a thin passageway, so they could only attack us one at a time, at least.
My guess is they have to come across that bridge into that small hallway.
Good point.
Yes,
Good
but
man,
how
Mr.
We could
do you do
knock
it?
the bottom of the bridge off.
I like
We could
this
always just set fire to the bridge.
But that would be slow.
And how would
Whereas,
we get
like,
across?
if we just knock it out, they'll fall into the rocks.
Sure.
Or we could set fire to it once they're over it, and then they won't be able to back up, and we can push them into the fire.
The problem is how to get them to follow us. They seem to have enough sense not to do so.
They are fast.
Mr. Lorros, how about we cut up these dead goblin bodies at our feet and we throw limbs at them until they come in and get us?
Won't they just eat the meat? They don't seem to be terribly picky when it comes to what they consume.
Mr. Baron, you can put your
Opposite of a siege.
powdery stuff in it. So we can throw the legs at them. They'll eat the legs with the powdery death in it, and they
Yes.
die.
Absolutely.
Could we just not
Can we-
use Gil as bait? He could taunt them and run, as he has done before, and they would follow him.
I
you
prefer the
don't mind, of
term
course.
reconnoiter to bait.
Plus, they were not stupid enough to follow him the first time.
Exactly.
We did
But
kill
if
one.
he taunts them enough, surely he could
We need
wind them up.
something that looks more edible. Maybe like cheese. I was going to say like a human child or something, but
We do have the cheese. We do have wolf bodies also.
cheese on
Perhaps
a string.
cheese on a string being carried by an elven druid.
Why me?
Less threatening than myself or Sigg or Gil, perhaps.
I'm happy
Do you
to
have your tickets?
check what's going on. If we need a volunteer, that's fine.
Let's proceed to the bridge then. Mr. Lorros, perhaps come with me. We'll go at the front, kill stuff on the way if we need to.
Sure.
Does anyone have a saw?
A saw.
A
I have an
sword,
axe.
Next. How about
a
we
sweet
weaken?
little knife.
Oh yes. How about we weaken one section of this that we know is weakened, like the platforms, and we just walk over them. But they won't know. If they chase us, we'll run back over, not standing on those planks, and they'll
Let's
come
not
to their death
take
and get rid
more
of a
time
couple.
than we already have.
Let's go
Just
defend the
have a
bridge.
4 hours sleep.
Should we go defend the bridge and see what
Uh-huh.
preparations we can make? They might
right.
attack us before we even reach the bridge.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Is everyone in agreement?
Agreed.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go killing.
So as you guys make your way down the stairs into the sort of open area, let's just do something here. Sorry, just going to move there. You
Hey, someone just followed us, I think.
Yay!
Medium rig.
Nice. Sorry, medium who? Medium rig. Say medium regular. I'm too busy changing things on layers to scare people. So thank you for the follow. You're awesome. Thanks. As you guys make your way into that little area, it looks as if the goblins
This is bad.
have been
I told you.
have made their way across, and the one sort of closest to actually, you guys can feel free to move back a bit if you want, just because
We would have seen them about here, right?
yeah, you would have seen them as you came down into this area.
I'm not walking towards it.
The closest one just yells out, "Christ! How long do you guys sit around for? We've been out here for ages. Jesus. Shit!
They
Is
probably
Clark
thought
not
we'd
in
leave.
there or something? God, he must be out like killing again. Well, fucking hell, Jesus!"
Do they look
They,
exhausted at all?
No. Well, they don't seem to be exhausted. They've just been sort of like waiting around. They're just more,
So they're
more
bored.
annoyed than anything.
Brilliant.
They're angry. This is just the waiting has just made them angrier.
Hardest part.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Sig's gonna call back. How about eat your own shit?
We'll be feasting on yours soon enough. The yells.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
Better come back.
Before we roll, is there anything you guys want to do?
Back to the room. Back to the room.
We should have bloody left
not
when we had a
really-
chance.
We can take these. Come on.
We can.
It's back to the room.
Back to the room.
Back to the room.
As they see you backing off, but before you can fully back off, two of them bring out their short bows and take aim. And you know what that means. We're going to need you guys to roll initiative.
Don't forget to click on your characters and then roll.
But make sure you have the cursor thingy, or it won't do
Yeah.
it.
That's right.
I have rolled.
I've rolled a 17.
I have rolled an 8.
I rolled 11.
Sigg rolls a 10.
I rolled a 21.
Nice.
My best one.
I think you all clicked on your tokens this time. That's fantastic. Oh wait,
Look at us. We're
Wait.
learning.
wait,
You
Sig
didn't.
didn't. That's
Oh,
right.
sick.
I can add you. I can add you in there.
Embarrassing.
What did you-
Always
I think-
one.
What
I
did you
think
roll?
we
Sig?
should all get inspiration if we ever all manage to do it correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's a worth.
We'll win the D&D.
10. Is that right, Reece?
Agreed.
Okay. Cool. All right. That didn't order it at all. There we go. Cool. All right, Baron, you're up. You're up first.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to yell out that, you know, if we fight them in the open, then they can all attack us at once. But if we're at this choke point, maybe we can have a better chance. Because we're in 3 directions. And I'm just going to cast Chill Touch on the one that I can see most clearly, this one here. And to do that, 1d20 plus 5, 11.
11. I'll just do the. Is it actually going to let me do the thing?
Oh,
Oh, it's not going to let me do the thing. Okay, never mind.
over here. Yeah, we've seen it anyway. Chill Touch. Yep.
There we
So
go.
is
There
it-
we go. All right, with 11, that is a miss.
Boo. I shouldn't even played the video. Okay, I'm gonna back up.
Cool. And so you've moved in. You've done your chill touch. That's you. Yeah. In bonus action, he's gone.
Who gone? Am I gone?
No, you're there now. But although your video is gone.
Oh, whoops.
No, he's there.
Okay,
I don't really have a bonus action. It's just apart from I moved a little bit. That's all.
okay, cool. Lorros, you're up next.
Okay, so I'm going to. Firstly, I'm just going to say, Sig, you take the middle one, and then I'm going to charge to the guy to the left with my axe raised, and I'm just going to charge straight in and drop my axe on his head, with the intent of splitting his head wide open. I'm not waiting around. I'm not going to sit back. I'm just going to finish this now and lay waste to these things.
Great, there's the attitude. So who are you?
Debating.
So.
We're about to.
So I'm going to him,
Right.
and I'm yelling to Sig to deal with this guy here,
Cool. Roll to hit.
assuming he gets a chance to. Where am I? Roll to hit. Please work. So many dice. I roll a 17
17 is
And
a
do-
hit.
and do 15 damage.
Oh, that is not good for any goblin, really. That is a fantastic roll. What do you roll? 1d12 plus 3. Dang. That was okay. Yeah, that
It was a
goblin.
perfect 12. It was brilliant.
That goblin doesn't even see it coming. You just sort of appear in front of him, and he's just kind of huh? And the axe. So how are you bringing down
My
the
normal,
just the straight
down. It's
down.
straight down cleave.
And this, you
Yeah.
split him from skull to belly button, and just kind of he just splits open, and
Beautiful.
his guts and stuff fall out everywhere. And that guy
American,
is,
please don't look.
yeah, that guy is well and truly gone.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's right.
Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm just going to step across his body. In fact, basically stand with my 2 feet, 1 foot on one side, 1 foot, and just basically, step forward and split him in two completely, and just stand there, staring down the hallway at anything that could possibly be coming, hoping they've seen it and they're incredibly intimidated by it.
Yeah, I'm assuming you've still got a torch of some sort, or are we in
Yeah.
darkness?
I've still got my torch. So I came down. I had my torch. I mean, just figure I'm doing it one-handed.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Okay, cool. Okay, that's your turn. And you can just sort of hear from off in the background. Kill them so we may feast. And that is the leader's turn. The goblin's turn now, however. What do we do? We've got one of the goblins comes running up from up behind you, and pulls out his scimitar and slashes it across, hopefully, your back. I say hopefully because I'm a mean DM. And then he rolls an 8.
Lorros doesn't even look. He doesn't even notice that you're there.
Oh, so are you saying it's a surprise attack?
No, it's not a surprise attack. It's just he doesn't even notice.
Oh, okay.
You ear swing, you completely miss. It's like,
okay, all right,
whatever.
Okay,
When I turn around, you're going to get the elbow straight to the face.
Yeah, and he's missed, but he's snarling. He's just like right at your back, like he's furious. He's furious. The other goblin sort of moves forward a little bit, and he's. What are we gonna do here? You're kind of behind cover here, to be honest. So he's gonna have a look. He recognizes Gil, sort of cowering in the corner there, and trains him up with his. He basically trains him up with the short bow, and he's. You made us wait like 4 hours. This is crazy. And he eyes you up and shoots with his short bow and rolls a 19.
That is a hit.
The arrow flies through the air and jabs straight into your shoulder, doing 6 piercing damage. And he's stoked. He's hit, and he's just like, there's more where that came from. And he's kind of pointing at his arrows on his back. That's his turn. There's one more goblin who's kind of he's seen what's happened with the goblin that Lorros killed. And he's kind of looking back at the leader behind him, kind of like he wants to get around, and the leader's not letting him past. And the leader just kind of pushes him forward to attack. But they've spent the 6 seconds just kind of fighting over what was going on. How much was that damage to Gil? It was 6 damage, 6 piercing damage. Sorry, just our stat keeper asking. Thanks, Asbosha. It is now Sigg's turn.
So Sigg is just struggling with himself at the good advice from Byrem, but then sees Lorros run off and carve up a goblin, and he can't not have some of that and leave a man out in the field. So he quickly turns to those around him. I'll get Lorros and be back in a minute. And charges across to this little goblin here and does a running skewer into his back between his rib cage bone pieces.
Yeah, beautiful. Roll to hit, please.
19.
That is
look
hit.
at that.
But it just sort of glances the goblin instead of piercing through where you were aiming. He does take how much damage? 3 piercing damage though. And he kind of is taken kind of by he's kind of alert. He's like shocked by that, and he sort of turns around, and he's just like continuing this. You've basically found a rabid goblin out of all of these.
As a bonus action, Sigg would like to call to Lorros. Lorros, back!
Can do. You say that, and Lorros hears. It is Miraqen's turn.
Right, I have a question. What kind of cover am I in where I am currently?
You're half in the wall.
Right.
Let's have a look.
It's
All right,
How about
you'd
here?
you'd have to be there. From there, you wouldn't be in cover from the goblin that's in the pond at the moment.
right.
If the other goblin decided to train his short bow, he wouldn't be able to hit you.
He wouldn't?
He would not. He's got the stalagmite in the way. You're behind a bit
right,
of
the
rock.
other one.
Yeah, the other one. Sorry.
Can I move into cover slightly to the left? or into even half cover?
You could sort of step back behind, like up the stairs a little bit, and in that little nook there, I guess you can hold Alt down to place yourself.
Ooh.
More specifically, if you like.
Ta-da. So therefore, will I be able to hit the goblin off in the water?
Yes, you
Right.
would be able to hit the goblin off in the water.
I shall do so. I
Okay.
train my short bow on him and take a shot.
Okay, roll to hit. And while you're doing so, Alpha Me, thank you so much for the follow. The rabid goblin got you, didn't it? It was that. I could tell.
I have rolled a 21.
Yeah, perfect. With the 21,
nice.
whereabouts are you aiming? What's going on there?
I'm aiming, as usual, straight for the head.
Okay, great. That kind of just like scrapes past through his cheek and tears through his ear. And does five damage. He's not too happy about that, especially after the successful hit he got on Gil. But he's got no witty retort this time, unfortunately. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I call out to Gil. I can heal you if you need it.
Cool. Baron, it's all you.
That's me again. Well, I'm going to do a similar thing. Exactly the same thing. I'll roll it. I'm pretty sure it's what's that? An 8.
This is chill touch again.
Yeah, but don't bother playing it because it missed. Damn you!
That is a miss.
I just sigh and move back, and I mutter under my breath how that there should be free goblins now that they've got rid of their oppressive leader, but they choose a life like this. Need education. Okay.
I think you're muttering to yourself. The only person that can hear you is Miraqen at this point.
I refuse to acknowledge it.
Fine.
Lorros, over to you again.
All right. So, obviously hearing Sigg utter his chicken shit words of retreat and turn back, and was like, I'll look back, and obviously they've got the snarling goblin behind me who's been grazed and got a bit of a rib tickler. So I'm just going to snort at him, and I think, what happened to Gil's turn?
I thought I gave Gil a turn after the goblins. Did I not? Did I miss that?
No, I was waiting for Gil's turn too.
Oh, Gil, you missed out.
Oh, shoot. It was. I thought. Yeah, sorry. You were right. You were right after the goblins' turn. Sorry, Gil. Go right here.
Before Sigg.
Okay. So, how much is the pool of water built back up?
Because the dams have been broken, they're all about half full. They're not gonna fill up any higher until the rocks are replaced.
I see.
Yeah.
And how does this goblin look?
He's standing sort of like 1 foot up on the edge and 1 foot on the sort of the shallow part of the of that sort of pool as it sort of dips down. So he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and it's probably up to his knee where he for the leg that is in the water.
Okay. Does he seem to be in good health, or?
He looks to be quite bloodied.
Okay.
The shot through his face has really kind of changed his demeanor a little bit.
I see. It's at this point that I call out to him from my position. And I just say, so, what's your name then? Mog? Earg? Starg? And I hope he considers himself to be viciously mocked.
Yes, he does. It's a wisdom check, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, here we go.
Yes.
He's rolled an 18.
Oh.
Hearing,
Is enough.
Yeah, hearing that coming from you, the one that sort of interrupted them, the one he's managed to injure, he just kind of looks back at you and he sort of says, "Ah, you fool! My name is Jog. You think you can make fun of my name? Never!"
That seems to fit. As my bonus action, I call out to Lorros and I say, And you will always protect me.
Oh, Jesus.
Before I run away.
Set me to inspire or hurt me.
Thanks, bro.
All right. We'll go back to the top of the order with you, Lorros.
All right, cool. So I'm assuming that travesty of sound was bardic inspiration, yeah?
Yes.
Right. So, snarling goblin to my right, with Sigg telling me to deal with, well, I guess retreat is what I've understood him to say. I'm just going to, and I guess have to wait for you to allow me to do so, but want to kind of, because my axe has come down, I just want to sort of spin around and elbow him in the back of the head and hopefully send him flying. So just going to spin as if I'm sort of turning to Sigg and going, yeah, what? And then just sort of send this goblin flying.
Right, so it's still an attack, yeah, with your...
Yeah, it's an unarmed attack, I guess, is the preference.
Cool. All right, well, roll to hit.
Do I have one of those? I do. Yes, I do. Yes. I roll a 24.
Yeah, cool.
With my bardic inspiration, I roll a 1d6 onto anything. Does that include damage?
It does not include damage.
It's just for hits and stuff. Yeah.
So cool. I'll save it then.
Yeah. So are you hitting him with the sort of the end of it? Oh, your elbow. You are actually coming.
Point of elbow. Yeah, I'm just going to spin around and because my axe is like there.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sort of as if I haven't really seen him.
Yeah, sure. So what happens is like as Sigg has come through with his blade and slices into the sort of the side of the goblin, the goblin sort of like lets out turns and sort of snarls, but is kind of pushed forward a little bit as well as your elbow comes back, and it's just this wet crunch as his face just compacts in, and he just kind of is kind of embedded on your elbow a little bit, and then just slowly falls off onto the ground. The elbow and any of its covering is kind of
goblin goo.
Yeah, covered in blood and teeth. And our little goblin friend is now dead at your feet.
All right, that's 2 for me.
Yeah,
awesome.
That was 4 damage for those keeping track. Asgosha.
I believe he'll come up with my tally shortly.
Yeah.
So you've got about 3 to catch up, I think.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I was going to look at Sigg and say yes. You wanted something?
Okay, cool.
And can I see the goblins down the hallway? I must be able to see this guy here, yeah?
Yeah, you can definitely see the one that's in front. You can see some shapes on the bridge as well.
Okay. All right, so in a very short time frame, I'm just going to say there's one there. Pick.
Yeah, cool.
And then leave it.
All right. The shape on the bridge does nothing. He's just standing there and he's taking it all in. It is the goblin's turn. And the goblin in front of you, Lorros, kind of takes a couple of steps back, and he pulls out his he pulls out his short bow and starts eyeing you up. But he's shaken. He is not one of the brave ones. So he's going to roll with disadvantage. So let's see how he does. He rolls a 12.
That's a miss.
Cool, and that arrow just kind of hits the rocks on your left, and it kind of just ricochets off and into the corpse of his friend lying at your feet. And seeing that, he backs back up to Yeemik, the sort of the goblin leader again. Our other goblin, the one that was attempted to be viciously mocked, he really has his sights set on Gil, and starts to give chase. He sees Gil sort of hiding behind someone, and takes aim at the shape in front. So this is a short bow attack to Miraqen.
However, I am indeed in some level of cover, yes?
Not from this angle. He is moved.
Flanked.
You have been flanked. You are well open. And he rolls a 19.
Oof.
Ooh.
That is a hit.
Cool. So despite being damaged, he sees your short bow basically and pieces it together that the scratch across the face and the chunk out of his ear is thanks to you. And he lines you up and lets go and manages to shoot you directly into your left thigh. Doing 4, because obviously you've got that extra height being at the top of those stairs. It's 4 piercing damage directly into your left thigh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And you hear him sort of.
Oh God, she's gonna.
You see it. You can't hear it due to the sound of the waterfall, but you can see his mouth. You know he's not happy. And that is the goblin's turn. Gil, over to you.
Nasa! And I run forward. And I attempt to stab him with my rapier.
Oh, fantastic. That is a roll to hit, please.
I rolled an 18.
And 18 is a hit. Let's see.
And I dealt 3 piercing damage.
Cool. With the speed you're running, that rapier just kind of punches straight through his chest, in between some ribs, and directly into the heart of the goblin. He kind of clutches the rapier at its entrance point, and then sort of just slumps and falls back off it, leaving the end of your rapier dripping with goblin blood. But he is down.
Before the light expires from his eyes, I say, "This is where your story ends, Jarg. No one will remember you. Know that."
Ooh.
And I let him slide off of my rapier.
Miraqen sees all this and calls out in Elvish, "Agoreg Vey! Agoreg Vey!"
Okay, cool. Anything else, Gil?
I'll just look at what Lorros and Sigg are up to.
Yeah, you can see that Sigg is standing sort of behind a dead goblin that's slumped onto the ground, and that Lorros is for some reason standing all up in the guts of another goblin.
Yeah. That's how I roll.
It seems to be going well for them. Cool. Sigg, your turn.
With Sigg's bonus action, he's just going to survey the battlefield and what's gone over the past little while and see if he can see any more enemies approaching.
With the light from your torch and the sort of the area that you can see, you can't see any more goblins from where you are. But you would have actually. Can you give me a perception check?
Sigg rolls an 18 for perception.
So what you did see, though, that it was an arrow sort of like a ricochet next to Lorros and hit the goblin at your feet.
Indeed. Sigg will stand atop the dead goblin and converse with Lorros momentarily. Lorros, how many more are there?
At least one. He fired an arrow at me. And he's running that way, but I suspect there's more pushing him toward us.
Sigg wonders if he can stand side by side with Lorros in this hallway.
It's 5 foot. Yeah, I'd say you probably could.
Nice. We'll create
as
a wall.
Lorros was going to sort of let you in.
Oh, of course. He can stand on the other side of the goblin that was split in two. I feel that creates a perfect picture.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Right. So Sigg will just stand next to Lorros and call back to those behind him. Are you all right?
The distance that they're at, they may... Miraqen and Byrem won't be able to hear you. Gil could probably make that out, like if he was concentrating hard enough. So if you want, John, could you give me a perception check? And we'll just see if you can hear him.
Yes, I do want.
You are quite close to that waterfall after all.
It was a 19.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the sound of that waterfall, we're going to have a disadvantage on that. You won't hear Sigg calling out.
With a disadvantage, it was a 7.
Yeah. So we'll move on to Miraqen. Unless, sorry, Sigg, was there an action or anything that you wanted to?
That's all. I'll just stand ready next to Lorros.
Did you want to ready an action of any sort?
Already a chop.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Miraqen.
Miraqen looks over at Baron Byrem and says, Brian, help me. I've been shot again. Help me. Help me get this arrow out, Brian.
Okay, I'm just amazed that Miraqen knows one of my middle names.
I am very perceptive.
As well as dramatic when wounded.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I would like to ready a cure wounds for if Brian will help me pull the arrow out.
Cool. We can sort of wrap your 2 turns together if you'd like.
Yes, could combine our turns. Could you tell me? I haven't actually peeked my head out. Can you tell me what's happening out there?
From your position, did you want to sort of take more of a step out, or you just wanted to see what you could see from there?
Yeah, well, I was asking Miraqen, but I'll pop my
sorry.
head out at the same time. At the same time, I'll pop it and ask what's going on.
All right, Miraqen, you can explain what you've seen.
I've been shot. I believe Bill has taken care. He's shown great courage and has taken care of the vile beast that shot me, but there are certainly more.
Yeah, and what you can
just
see
trying to
you can see sort of Gil standing at the in front of a dead goblin, his blade, his rapier dripping with blood. But that's what you can really kind of see from there. If you kind of peer around the corner, you can see maybe some sort of like some shapes on the ground that are slightly sort of lit by the glow of a flame of some sort.
Okay. I guess that was distracting you while I unroll my medical tools. Such as scalpel. Where's the arrow?
That's
right here.
Oh, sorry.
In my beautiful, beautiful thigh.
On the thigh. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay. All right. I think I'll just grab the pliers out of my toolkit and put them around the arrow and wiggle it out.
Does it work? Does he have to roll?
Yeah, I mean, like,
is it stuck in bone or anything?
Can I get a survival roll from you, Brian?
Survival. Okay.
How about medicine?
Oh, let's do a medicine.
There's medicine, yeah. Okay.
I may have made this harder for myself.
Yeah, no, that's good. 10.
10 is just enough, we'll say. That you've managed to get it out without doing any further damage to Miraqen's leg somehow.
I'm more used to autopsies, sorry.
That's all right. I'll cure my wounds now. I think.
With that, I'll use the rest of my movement just to peer from behind this stalagmite.
Okay, cool. Well, Miraqen manages to heal herself for 3 points. And Baron, what you can sort of see, you can see sort of Sigg, or you can see sort of the edge of Sigg with a couple of goblins dead at his feet. That's where you can just kind of sort of see 3/4 of him.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's my whole turn. I can't yell out to them, ask them for an update, can I?
You could, but they won't respond until it's their turn.
All right.
So you can if you want.
Do that. What's the situation? I'm rolling up my medical tools.
Yeah, cool. We'll flick over to Lorros. We'll say that both Lorros and Sigg would have heard the Baron crying out.
Okay. So I'm going to ignore Baron because I'm really just too busy to bother giving him an update. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to throw my torch towards where I think that kind of chicken goblin was heading. So I want to sort of just lob it down the hallway so I can kind of get a bit of
Let's have a look.
a lighting up to see what's going on.
So he's lit up. You can see him, and you can see some shapes behind him, but you can see him quite well. He's casting a bit of a shadow on what's behind him.
Now, I apologise if this appears really bloodthirsty, and the fact that I'm standing on a goblin split in two. I'm not enjoying it. It's disgusting. Blood on my boots is not cool. Got blood on my elbows, so I'm not happy about that either. But so I just want to make sure that everyone's aware that Lorros is not enjoying this. He's just doing this because he has to.
It
certainly seems like it.
Yeah.
He didn't really have to stand on the dead goblin.
That was for dramatic effect.
The only thing that I did hear from all that was a bunch of woohoos.
Anywho, just I know Sigg's got my back and he'll support me on this, so yeah, it's all good.
He's got one half of a goblin.
So after throwing my torch at the feet of this goblin here, I am going to charge at him with the intent of splitting him in two as well, and as I charge down the hallway, I'm going to hope that this echoes, and I'm literally just going to go, die, fool, and charge, and then drop it on his head.
Right.
So I want that heard.
The goblin leader had actually readied an action. So move your token halfway up.
Halfway?
Halfway between where you are and the bridge, I guess.
Oops. There we go.
Cool. As you approach, you can hear the goblin leader sort of yell out, "Halt! Okay, looks like you guys are pretty good at this. I think maybe this will change things." And he kind of wait a second, where are we? He reaches kind of behind him and pulls some guy sort of like alongside him, and he is looking not very good. He's looking very bloodied. He's barely conscious. And he says, "Let's call a truce. Maybe you do something for me, I'll scratch your back, and we're all good." Yes. And that was what he had ready to go. So, and his turnover. It's back to you now, Lorros.
So, can I see this thing that he's pulled? This person, I'm assuming it's a person. I'm not really sure, but can I get do I have a clear look at him, given there's a goblin in front of me?
Yeah, you can see that not only is he sort of, you can see that it's a humanoid shape, but you can see that this goblin leader is kind of holding him near the edge of the bridge. It's a 20-foot drop.
I've had a shit time with negotiating with these goblins, so I'm just going to have to put that out that this is going to taint my decision on negotiating with anyone at this point in time. Given the last time I negotiated with someone, I ended up dead. So this is clearly going to. He's negotiating with me, yes.
You can see that he's in the humanoid shape is in a bad state. He's barely standing up. And the goblin leader is holding him over the edge of this bridge, sort of like.
The question I have is it clearly obvious that if I attack, he's going to push him over the edge? That's kind of what I can tell.
If you attack, I'll push him over the edge.
Thank you for that, for clarifying. That's very nice of you. So I'm going to continue my charge, and I'm going to get to that point there, and I'm going to bring my axe down really as fast as I possibly can, but I'm going to stop within, let's say, a couple of inches of the goblin's head. As if I've just kind of go, oh, okay, yeah, I've heard you.
As you do that, the goblin leader sort of pushes the human shape further over, but holds on. He's holding on now. All he has to do is let go. And this guy's going over the edge.
All right. Depending on how much you allow me to say,
well,
state your terms, fool.
Okay. All right. We'll...
My axe is held over this goblin's head.
Okay.
And I'm asking him to state his terms.
Okay. Cool. It's the goblin leader's turn, and he's sort of looking intently at you. He's like, "Yes, you'll listen to Yeemik, won't you? Yes, I don't ask for much, but what I ask is very important. Bring me the head of Clog, and you will have your man."
Do we know where Clark's body is?
It's in the, where
Didn't
we,
he end up
where we
down the
killed him.
river? I thought he ended up
Oh,
on the river
yeah.
somewhere, didn't he?
Yeah, you're right.
And that's Yeemik's turn. The goblin in front of him is visibly shaken. He's got this axe very, very close to his head, and his leader is losing his shit behind him. And he's like, and he sort of looks up at you, Lorros, and he sort of speaks softly. He's like, "Yes, Clog has been ruling us for so long, but he doesn't treat us as well as Yeemik. Yeemik looks after us. He'll make sure that this place runs so well. Please, save me and bring Clog's head to Yeemik." Gil's turn.
Have I seen/heard this exchange?
No, you don't know at all what's going on. The last thing you saw was this goblin dropping dead from the end of your rapier.
Okay. As I turn my bloodlusted eyes away, I sheathe my rapier and draw my lyre. I have a song to sing.
Oh, God.
Hey there, Sigg, I see you looking down. Don't want to see my little buddy down with a frown. Just because he killed more goblins than you, that's only because he rolls better than you do. Hey now, Sigg, you got it going on. I hope Sigg feels inspired.
It looks like Sigg is very inspired.
Sick, loving it.
From a new vantage point, can I see anything about what's going on here?
No, you can kind of just see past Sigg into this area here, and that's pretty much it. You can't see Lorros, your bodyguard,
Sigg, is Lorros okay?
and we can roll that into Sigg's turn if there's nothing else you wanted to do there, Gil. Cool, Sigg.
He's ahead of us with the leader. And
I
Sigg's gonna...
was going to say, can you give me a perception check?
Sigg rolls perception. With a 9.
You basically heard the goblin leader, but you didn't hear the pleas from the small goblin. The goblin leader was much louder. You can see that Lorros's torch is lighting up basically that entire bridge scene, and you can see a humanoid shape almost teetering from the edge of that bridge.
Looking at the hallway in front of Sigg, could I stand next to Lorros, or is he taking up the whole room there?
If you guys could squeeze in against like you did at the entrance to this, it'd be a little close, but you're welcome to.
Okay. Sigg looks back to Gil and sees Mr. Byrem and calls out, Come. We need to regroup here. There's a man, and it looks like the leader is on the bridge, teetering him there.
A human?
Yes. Only the wisest of them have any sort of tactics like this. We'll need all our strength.
Jesus.
Okay, cool.
It's like one of those hostage situations.
And Sigg will just move up the hallway just a smooch.
Cool.
Just a smooch.
Just a.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Miraqen.
Right. So, did I hear any of that exchange?
Nope, you haven't really heard or seen a thing. The last thing you've heard and seen was your own cries of pain as that arrow went into your thigh, and then Byrem helping you get it out and move off.
Well, I creep forward stealthily up next to Baron Byrem and call out to my comrades, "What's going on out here?"
I think Baron can relay basically what he heard.
There's a hostage situation up on the bridge
Oh no.
where they have a human and they're teetering him over the edge. But I'm sure it's in good hands.
Lorros defense? That poor man is doomed.
Yeah, Lorros is your negotiator again.
It's not my strong point. I wasn't born to be a negotiator. Let's be honest here.
I continue creeping forward into cover just next to Gil.
Okay. Did you want to do any sort of actions?
Do not.
Okay. It is Baron's turn.
Okay, so here's my plan, but I want to know if it's even doable before I do it. You know, like not like it's going to succeed, but if it's completely a no. If I was to jump in the water, would I float down below the bridge
Log.
like a log?
Let's have a look. It's 15. It's probably not this turn. You'd probably get to about the top of the corner.
Depends how quickly the water's going, I suppose.
It's going at just like
enough.
it's a steady pace, but not overly fast. So it'd be about the same as your sort of, let's say maybe in between a run and it'd give you 1.5 times your speed.
Okay, so that's 30. Well, if it's not going to do it, I'm just going to come up over here behind the. So I still want to be in cover.
Okay.
So I don't get spotted. Just peek my head around till I can see them.
Okay.
And that's all.
All right. I am gonna roll. Could you actually do a stealth roll for me? Because I assume you're trying to be stealthy, yeah?
Well, I'm not even. Yeah, I assume it's loud and everything, so I'm just moving to a position where I'm not even poking out, apart from maybe my eyeballs, which are on stalks.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I don't remember that.
We
can extend.
We won't worry about rolling this time. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get past anyone. I'm just up against the wall.
Okay.
Would it be all right if I had moved up to there similarly?
Sure, we can. Yeah, you had enough movement to do that, so that's fine.
Okay.
Cool. Oh wait, whereabouts were you? You guys were pretty. Actually, you moved up from here.
Let me use my.
Oh yeah. You could have made that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Is that all you've got there, Baron?
Yep, that's everything.
We have goblins to kill. Let's do this.
Get back to the bridge.
Because I'm new to this, I forgot I could ready actions. I should have done that.
Okay, it is time to get hot again under this thing.
So hot. So hot.
Incredibly hot.
I need to do something to Nellie's hot in here. Shannon's just shaking his head like, no, please don't. It's going to be about you now. That's the rule.
All right, so we find ourselves back at the top of the turn order with Lorros staring down terrified little goblin.
All right, so I'm going to keep my axe above the terrified little goblin's head, and I have no intention of moving it until he steps away. But I'm going to, in my best scary kind of threatening dominant voice, I'm just going to say, I do not negotiate with terrorists. Release the prisoner, or your minion dies.
Is there anything else you would like to do with that?
No, I want that to stand. And I mean, I'm trying to intimidate the leader by threatening his minion.
So, okay. Can you roll intimidation, please?
With pleasure. I just hope this doesn't fail miserably. I roll a 6.
The little goblin in front of you kind of looks up at you and says, You're not quite as scary as my goblin leader, to be honest. And look, I'd give him over if I could, but I think just if you can bring us Clark's head, I think that's probably just a good idea.
How far away is the guy? They're about what, 5 feet away from me, eh?
Yeah, I mean, like the goblin's within 5 foot, the other guy's 10 foot away.
Okay. I don't know how to. This may sound rash, but assuming
coming from you, Dave, what?
that's not Dave. This is Lorros. Right? Come on now. So Lorros is. I'm just going to pause for a moment, seeing that my attempt to scare him didn't work, and I'm really not in the mood to negotiate, given that cutting goblins in half is a lot more successful at getting my way. But with my axe so I've got my axe kind of held over at the moment. I'm just going to put my axe like to my side, and as I do, I'm hoping that the goblin in front of me will visibly relax, and sort of just I'm kind of hoping he does that. And as he does, assuming he does relax, I'm going to basically step forward quite forcefully, attempt to push him out the way, and grab the prisoner and yank him back to me.
That's a lot to unravel here.
I realise that.
So, your intimidation
failed miserably.
And was your action?
Was that so? You're going to count that as in my action?
That was
okay.
That was.
If that's my action, then that's fine. Actually, can I add the bardic inspiration to that roll? Just while I'm thinking about it.
Sure.
What I had it.
Sure.
So it's just a 1d6, eh?
Oh, wait a minute. Like you meant to decide whether you want to use it after I tell you whether it fails or not. So I can't let you retcon it back in.
Before.
Sorry, before I tell
fine.
you whether.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologise.
That's all right.
All right. Okay. No, if that was my action, then there's sweet FA I can actually do except stand here but I will put my axe, like lower my axe from the goblin's head.
Yeah.
I'll ease that threat from him.
Okay. So that's your turn, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm kind of just standing at kind of like a guard, just.
Yeah. As you place that down, you can a faint voice kind of like, sort of like kicks in from behind the goblin. Don't negotiate with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let me die.
Oh, brilliant.
And Yeemik kind of is a little frustrated with this and starts shaking him, and he loses consciousness. All I ask for is the head of Clark. He should be back any minute now, because he clearly wasn't in where he usually is, or you'd be dead by now.
Has anyone else heard of the head of Clark? Or is it we're too far away?
I think you've probably picked up on this now, Baron. You've probably heard that one. Both probably you and Miraqen would have heard that one rattling out. This is probably the first you've heard of this the negotiations that are going on. You wouldn't have heard the dying call of the human though.
Right.
The small goblin in front of you, Lorros, sees you put down your club, breathes a sigh of relief, but at the same time pulls out his scimitar, just in preparation. Gil, it's your turn.
Stupid.
Do I also know what's going on now?
No, you're still too far away. With the rushing sound, the sound of the rushing water, you still don't know what's happening ahead of you.
Okay. I walk towards Sigg, clap him on the shoulder, make sure he's okay. If he nods at me, I'll continue walking past.
Cool. As you've walked past, you can see Lorros with his battle axe placed with the handle on the ground next to him. You can see a small goblin holding a small scimitar in front of him, and behind him you can see an unconscious man being held over the edge of a bridge by the goblin leader you saw earlier.
Does he appear as though he would drop if let go, or
If he lets go, he's gone.
He
Yeah,
actually physically shoved.
no, all he has to do is let go.
And he appears unconscious.
He appears unconscious.
Wait! I call.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it for now.
Cool. Sigg, your turn.
Sigg sees Gil move up past him, and he follows up past him again, so he's right behind Lorros. He has his shield and his sword ready, and he talks quietly to Gil. Mr. Gil, any thoughts here?
I'm going to say, Sigg, you would have heard the goblin leader call out about the head of Clark, wanting the head of Clark.
Right. Mr. Gil, is all our party nearby?
I nod.
Are we all alive?
I nod again.
That's all for Sigg this turn.
Okay, Miraqen.
Miraqen, can she see what is happening and has heard?
You would need to move to. You would have heard the calling about wanting Clark's head,
Right.
but you don't really know visibly what's going on.
Right. So she creeps forward and peeps around the corner to see the situation.
Are you trying to go out stealthy?
Yes.
Cool. Can I get a stealth roll, please?
Yes. I have rolled a 21.
Cool.
21.
Oh, yeah, cool. All right. So yeah, you managed to make your way around. The sound of the water sort of drowns you out, and you've kind of blended in with the shadows a little bit. Now there's no light near where you are right now, so you're not seen.
Right. I look over at Baron Byrem and say, Brian, we are in a fantastic position right here. I do not want to waste this. We cannot let that hostage get harmed. Do you think that if I act quickly, I can ensnare them in my vines and separate the hostage?
Are the vines on the bridge?
I can create vines.
On the bridge.
Yes. I could ready it if you want to distract them, or I could just do it.
I'm going do it after what. If you ready it, then I'm going to actually turn into a goblin in a minute.
That would be a great distraction.
Yeah, and then I'll go underneath them. So ready it if something goes wrong.
Right. I'm ready.
Okay. Right.
This is getting good. Baron, it's your turn.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do what I said I would do. I'm going to use a magical spell called Disguise Self, and I'm going to shape change into with a arrow sticking out of my forehead. Maybe I lost him. Oh no. Oh, he's on the move. Yeah, so I'm going to turn into a goblin. Arrow sticking out my forehead. Another couple of arrows sticking out my sides, one out my bum. And I'm going to just stagger down the stairs with blood all over my shirt and stuff like that. Ugh.
Yeah. Just a reminder that you are still quite tall for a goblin. They're about.
Yeah, maybe I can disguise that with a hat. Because I can go a foot shorter than my normal height.
Are you trying to be stealthy at the same time?
No, I'm just slowly staggering like I'm leaving a battle.
Okay.
Dazed.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll to see if Can you give me a stealth check anyway, just so I've got something to compare this to?
Performance.
Well, this is more about whether or
the
not.
Same score.
Oh, okay, cool. Fine.
I'm not trying to. It's a 1d20 plus 2. And I rolled a. And here it goes. A 13.
You're very lucky. Cool. The goblin leader doesn't even notice you below him or nearing him anyway. I'm gonna check the other guy who also doesn't notice. So, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Well, that's good they haven't noticed me. I'm just going to go right underneath them and right underneath the bridge, and I'm going to position myself in case the guy gets dropped. I'll just let him sort of drop on me. And I'll try and hold my arms up.
It is a 20-foot fall.
Yeah, I realise that.
Gonna be damage there if he hits you.
Yeah.
Unless you catch him.
What a broy.
What a broy.
Oh dear.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Lorros.
All right, so the all bets are off now. I've clearly heard the guy say, "Let me die." I wouldn't have seen Byrem, Brian, whatever the hell his name is, move under the bridge because I'm not focusing on him, not even paying any attention to what's going on to my right.
It's Brian.
Brian. Oh, thank you, Miraqen. I get confused because you call them different names almost every time.
Brian
Byrem. So, given I've now got a scimitar pointed at me, and
it's not pointed at you. He's just holding.
He's holding it. So so he's holding it. That to me is a threat. I kind of stood down and let him go. Yeah, I was gentle enough to let him go, and he pulled out his weapon. I mean, that's just.
He's literally got nowhere to run.
I don't care. That's just an insult to me, to be fair.
Okay. All right.
Insulting the barbarian code of honor, sort of thing. And if there was one, I just made it up. Sorry. So basically, seeing this goblin pull out a scimitar, I'm going to throw my axe into the air and catch it back in my two hands. So kind of just with one hand, slide it up, catch it, and I'm going to slice instead of dropping down on top of the. I'm going to slice with the aim of trying to decapitate him. So I'm going to come from the top down across the top of his shoulder, across him like that.
Roll to hit.
With pleasure. Sorry, I'm not enjoying this.
Pleasure.
I take no pleasure in this whatsoever, but with pleasure. It's a 20.
All right. With a roll of a 20, it is indeed a hit.
And I do 9 damage.
9 damage cleaves straight through this goblin. As the same time as this axe slices and pushes through, the top half of this goblin moves off to the side. And as you can see behind the split in half goblin, you see the goblin leader just let go.
Catch him.
May I react?
Something was prepared.
You did.
She had readied.
You did. You had ready. What were you waiting for, Miraqen?
for things to go wrong.
Anything specific? Were you waiting for Lorros to attack?
For a move to be made that would endanger the hostage, and this is clearly one.
Okay.
And I knew Lorros would not be able to resist.
Okay, so you may. I'm assuming you just want to throw those vines up onto the bridge.
They sprout out of the cliff faces below the bridge, reaching up towards the hostage and the big bad evil monster.
How high do they grow?
Try to steer them both separately away from each other.
Could you just click on Entangle just so I can sort of see some details? These plants doesn't say how high they grow.
They sprout in a 20-foot square, starting from a point within range.
Mm-hmm. It just turns it into a difficult terrain. So I'm assuming it's only like 3 foot tall, or 3 to 4 foot tall, something that someone would have to, carefully make their way through. So are you placing it?
Is it to restrain them to the bridge?
Yeah. Are you wanting to grow it out of the bridge or underneath the bridge where the Baron is?
I would like to grow it out from underneath the bridge, wrapping around the bridge onto them both.
So attached to the bridge.
Yes.
From underneath the bridge.
So you got 2 choices. You have them sprout from underneath the bridge, or you have them sprout from the top of the bridge.
Okay.
Underneath the bridge, do you mean like the ground below it?
I mean the undersurface of the bridge.
Sorry.
Well, I don't suppose it matters so much.
Well, if you build it underneath the undersurface of the bridge, they'll grow downwards.
Oh, well, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I grow them from the bridge upwards,
Okay.
entangling them both.
Okay. We need to do a strength saving throw for the goblin.
If possible, I would like the vines to grow outwards to separate the two.
Okay. Well, we'll check the roll. What's your spell save DC?
It is 12.
Cool. Yeemik, the goblin leader, manages to bust the vines as he lets go of the body. Now the body isn't conscious, but only his feet were really on the bridge because he was being held over.
I can give him a Spider-Man kiss.
I regret my decisions immediately.
Yeah.
I should have done a different strategy.
He falls from the bridge.
No.
What?
No. What?
He falls
No.
from the bridge.
He
No.
did want to die. He's getting what he wanted.
Why is he falling from the bridge? He was in the area of the spell and he didn't resist it. How is this so?
It only turns it into difficult terrain. It doesn't
No,
turn it into
It does
restrain.
restrain. It does restrain.
restrain.
If they
fail,
manage
and if he's unconscious, he
Yeah.
didn't really try to stop it, I guess.
if they don't fail, then it becomes difficult terrain.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the vines basically grow up under his feet and just basically lift and push the guy, even just topples him over the edge with as Yeemik lets him
Well, there goes my chance for a Spider-Man
That's
kiss.
all. That's a good plan.
the human hits the water.
Oh,
Oh no, I'm trying to be underneath him.
Are you underneath him? Okay.
Yeah.
What I'll do?
That's my whole plan, is to catch him.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's have a look. So it's where'd Shanon go? Shanon disappeared.
he got squashed.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna wait for Shanon. Okay, he's back now.
Sorry about that, wrong button.
Okay. It's a 20-foot drop, and he's gone. He's gone again.
A body falling 20 feet. That's going to do some damage.
Yeah. So Darren, you're directly beneath him, yeah?
Yeah, that's my aim.
Okay. So you managed to cushion his fall, but it is definitely a heavy weight landing directly onto your now. Well, I suppose you're an illusion. You're not actually smaller, but he lands directly onto you, doing 7 damage to yourself.
To me.
To yourself.
Oh my god.
You have.
Oh, that's it.
You have,
I've only got 7 hit points.
It's the...
You have managed to cushion his fall a little, but not enough, and the human is now in a dying state.
Oh, fantastic! And so is
Me and him both, right?
Yeah.
This has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah. You have Yeemik on the bridge, not restrained.
Not restrained, because he succeeded, didn't he?
It is.
That went really well.
And
Well, at least he didn't die, I suppose, this guy.
and it is Yeemik's turn. You fools! You could have had it all! And he runs towards Lorros.
Bring him on!
With his with his scimitar out. What have we got here?
I want to bump him off the bridge.
And
Not onto me.
No, I'll throw him the other way. I feel like it's an adjusting session or something.
He rolls a 17.
Bring it on. That's a hit.
That's a
Bring
hit.
it. Come on.
Doing
Do your worst.
Doing 8 damage.
Barely a scratch.
Okay.
It's a big scratch, but
Okay. That's Yeemik's turn. Gil, over to you. You are well aware of everything that's just happened.
Having seen the situation, I...
Wait a minute. Doesn't he still have disadvantage because he's on difficult terrain, if not on difficult?
That's just he can't move as far.
Oh.
Half speed.
I appreciate the attempt to
And-
protect me a little bit.
And to be honest, you didn't want advantage because it was a critical hit. So if it had been an advantage, so he's all right. Gil.
So, having seen the human fall, I'm going to try to run to his aid. So I move here, which is approximately 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
5, 10, 15.
Just count each square, I guess, if you want to.
Yeah.
It's about 50 foot to get to the body.
50 feet?
You can get up to Miraqen with 30 feet.
That's 20 feet. Right?
Well, each square is 5 feet.
I can only get so far.
Mm.
Damn. I spend the rest of my turn rushing over
Okay.
towards the Baron and the fallen human.
Okay.
I suppose they no longer look like a goblin.
Underneath the goblin.
Yeah, cool. I'm assuming you're not trying to do stealthy. Are you trying to go stealthy? No. Okay, cool. So he knows where you are. Sigg.
Sigg looks behind him to see Gil run away and has seen the vilest scum drop the foe in front of him with the man. So he's going to squeeze through the side where Lorros is with a gentle nudge. if you would be so kind to make a bit of room.
It's a bit difficult to make a bit of room, but okay.
All right.
The comedic nature of two giant people trying to squeeze through a wall.
Yeah.
Sigg wonders if there's enough room there or not so much.
Yeah,
Mr.
there's
DM.
enough room.
Sweet. So then, with the smallest of margins, he's going to stab through his short sword into Yeemik's head. And just as he does so, he's going to get the beat of this really good song and just wiggle his blade as he does so.
All right, roll to hit.
A 22.
Whoa.
Did you still want to use your bardic inspiration?
I called it, so yes, I'll use my bardic
Okay.
inspiration.
All right. You don't have to roll it. It's definitely a hit.
It's
all
a
right.
definite hit.
It's a
For
definite.
7 piercing damage.
Yeah, that kind of, it doesn't go. I guess it's the fact that you guys are quite crammed into that little corridor at the moment. It was kind of lined up for his head, but as it comes through, it kind of just comes down and into Yeemik's shoulder, and doing a decent. What was that? 7 damage. He's taking it though. He's staring back at you with a wild look in his eyes. Is that anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
As a bonus action, Sigg will yell, "Taste Cragnolian steel!"
Okay, great. Miraqen, it is your turn.
Well, Miraqen mutters to herself, I cannot believe how badly that failed. On every front. And she realizes, though, she is flanking the I can't remember his name. Clark too, was it?
Yeemik.
Yeemik.
Yeah.
So she's ready to bow and arrow and takes the best shot she can. And I'd like to query whether that is with advantage due to the flanking or not.
I don't believe we're playing flanking rules. Someone asked that in our Discord a little while ago. We're not playing.
I'm probably lucky that we're not.
But we are playing cover rules, so you'd have to get out from around the corner to be able to see him if you wanted to get a clear shot at him.
Can I not peek out from cover?
If you take a look of where you are from this, let's say this point here, you can only really see kind of half. So he'd be in half cover from where you are.
Right.
So you can move, shoot, and then move.
Yeah, you can totally move, shoot, and move.
That. I peek out.
Okay, roll to hit.
A short bow. I take a shot directly at the head. And
Man,
a 20.
without Miraqen, I don't know what you
I have
guys
some luck.
would do. With a roll of 20, that goes flying straight into Yeemik's head, right into the side of his head. In fact, right into his temple. And he stops mid-scream and just kind of falls into the vines that were previously there. And Yeemik has been killed.
Yay!
All he wanted was
How
a
about
head.
that?
That wasn't it.
All right, and
Well.
with that, the battle is over.
Oh my god.
We didn't even have to start death saving rolls.
Oh,
How does that mean I'm not dying?
Well, I mean, if they
Well,
leave you here in the
technically
cave, sure.
You're still in a dying state.
Yeah, I mean, you're still in a dying state.
Yeah, okay.
Having seen the Baron fall, I'll run up and heal him. That was my original intent.
Asgosha, that was 6 piercing damage that took out Yeemik. Sorry, what was that, John?
I'll attempt to heal Byrem.
Sure. What have you got?
I'll use Cure Wounds.
Oh, yeah.
Sigg yells out, "Are you okay down there?"
1d8 plus spellcasting.
Some of us.
I'm going to assume I'm still in
I
dying when
heal
you
the
say that.
Baron for 8 points of damage.
Oh, that's more than all my hit points combined.
Turn my attention to the human, the unknown human. And
Miraqen also rushes forward.
I see if he can be saved.
Yeah, he's also just in a dying state. He's not dead. He's in a dying state.
Miraqen yells, we have another potion. Where is it?
Sigg has it.
"I've got a potion. Do you need it?"
Yes.
Sigg steps forward and lies down on the bridge and puts his arm down and tries to gauge how much room there would be in the likelihood of him ruining this whole scenario. You know what? I'll just walk around. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
In that time, I'd like to make a medicine check.
Sure. What are you trying to check?
I'm trying to stop any bleeding or anything that would endanger the life of this poor man.
Yeah, he's kind of he looks beaten, broken. He's bleeding from a bunch of different places. And while he was waiting for sorry, yeah, you didn't have to do a medicine check. This was pretty obvious.
I make an 18.
Okay, perfect. basically, yeah, he needs some healing very quickly, or his breathing is slowing. He looks to be passing.
Here, take this Doc McStuffin's healing potion. It'll do just the trick.
Perfect. What's that? That's 2d6 plus 2. Is that right?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. Oh yeah.
Do you want me to roll that?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Doc McStuffins is indeed a great.
Byrem, are you okay?
5 points of health.
Okay, cool.
Average renown, maybe.
Yeah. He's still looking pretty bad. But his consciousness does rouse, and he says, "You saved me. Thank you." He is hanging on to consciousness, and he puts his hand out for help to get to his feet.
Miraqen rushes forward and grabs his hand and tries to help him to his feet, and she's saying, "Are there more? Are there more of you? Are there more dead?"
Oh, so that's right. Hey,
More of them.
Sorry. I was one all along. No, shit. Okay. And he's like, he didn't make it, or at least I think he was taken somewhere else. Gundren. We need to find Gundren.
Gundren, is this one of your comrades?
I need to. This is where I really need to.
Read the book.
Yeah.
While I wake up from a dying state, I just like hear it like a dream, and I think, I guess, I'm just gonna have to thank Gil for saving me. I guess I noticed it was Gil. You're holding like your magic hands. Good. You got magic hands, Gil.
I like to think it's really more my songs that are magic, but thank you. I'll take the compliment.
And I've got a just a sense that I've helped out in the revolution finally. Making a difference. It's a real battle story. I can tell people back in my poetry class.
Sildar looks up towards Miraqen. He says, "Gundren, he was taken. He was waylaid. He was Clark. He had orders to take Gundren to the Black Spider. I don't know who the Black Spider is, but we need to find Gundren."
First of all, did you say his name is Dildar?
Oh, sorry. Please continue.
My name is Sildar, not Dildar. It's quite disrespectful.
Is it disrespectful to get named Brian? Can you please show some respect, Brian?
I'm a dying man, for Christ's sake.
I can fix that for you if you'd like.
Please. Those goblins did unspeakable things to me.
I lay my hands on Cinder. Was it?
Sildar.
And I cast Cure Wounds once more.
Nice.
Healing for 7 points of damage.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Sildar's still looking pretty beaten, but a few of his wounds have definitely faded from existence. And Gundren and his brothers, they found certain plans that I guess someone really, really, really needs. It was the wave. I don't know if you've heard of it. The wave echo cave. What even brought you here?
Mr. Sildar, we found murdered horses on the road. We knew once goblins attacked us, there was goblins to be killed, so we came and we killed them.
So, my horses are not okay.
No, they're dead. By suicide, Miraqen thinks.
And the map? Was the map there?
We did not.
I know not. Tell me, Mr. Sildar, was there other humans still alive in this cave?
Unfortunately not. They were feasting on them and they were threatening me with the same. But for some reason, I guess they needed me alive.
Fortunate for you, no doubt.
We need to find Gundren, or at least the map. We need to get to these lost echo caves.
Was Gundren brought here?
No, he was taken elsewhere, I think. I haven't seen any signs of him, and I heard them mentioning that they were taking him to the Black Spider, and I haven't seen any spiders in here, little brown ones, I guess, but that's about it.
What did you say about Wave Echo Caves?
The map that they needed was the location of these lost caves, the Wave Echo Caves.
Do you know where they are? Where the Did you look at the map?
No, Gundren kept that to himself, but I think, look, I need a really good rest. I need to get my stuff. Where are you guys heading? Because I really would like to get back to Phandelver. I'm sure someone there will know more.
We're going to Phandelver.
You're kidding. Well, look at that.
Good man, Mr. Sildar. You stick with us. We've got some cheese. We've got supplies. I've got a spare short bow if you want it. Crossbow, I mean. Short bow's mine.
Oh, damn. I really wanted that short bow. No, I'll take anything I can take. I'm actually pretty good with a crossbow, so that would be fantastic. But we need to get to Phandelver. I'm sure once we're there, a whole new story will begin, I'm sure.
Do you really think we should be arming a stranger? I mean, he seems okay, but do we trust him?
He's Fort Goblin kind. He's okay with me.
I just need a...
Can I do a perception check of any kind to see if I can trust the fella?
Ooh, what would you roll for that?
Insight.
Yeah, roll insight.
Yeah.
I have rolled insight at 18.
18. You can see that this guy seems to be pretty honest. He doesn't seem to bear you guys any harm, and you can see how thankful he is that you've come to his rescue. Although he does seem pretty interested in just getting out of these caves after everything that he's been through.
All right.
Just gonna have a look. I think there's some more information that we could probably give.
Where did Mr. Lorros get to? Can't see him.
Where did Lorros get to? Let's hunt him down. All right, Lorros is way over there. Okay. Lorros, do you want to explain what you're up to?
As I said in the Discord chat, Lorros has basically got bored with the chit chat.
Okay, sorry,
and
that's nothing.
Wasn't interested in what you guys are jabbering about. So just basically, and Sildar said that the goblins were gone and blah blah, and heard map, he wanted to go wander up and see what was in the caves because perhaps there might be a map or something up there that could give some information as to what we are supposed to be doing.
But importantly, in a different way to a different character.
Totally. It was totally quiet and not announced and not meant to distract from anything you guys were doing.
Gil, how do you feel about having a bodyguard that doesn't like guarding your body?
Gil's perfectly safe.
Negotiate our rates, that's for sure.
How many goblins has Lorros killed in the defense of Gil's body?
And
I believe I'm at 10.
0, actually.
I'm at 10.
In defense,
there are 10 less goblins that
in
could
my
be killing
defense
you right
or
now.
your offense. Let's count them up. 10 in your offense and 0 in my defense.
A good offense is always better than a good defense, my friend.
But the most important thing is he gained no enjoyment whatsoever out of it.
Although
Absolutely
my
no
idea of
enjoyment
not coming
doing
in the caves in the first place might have helped.
That is true.
I think I was with that, but someone overtalked us.
Nah.
I originally agreed with you, and then Sigg talked me around.
I believe we have tapes that we could check.
So I'm just writing down in my book. So there's Sildar,
yeah.
and who was his
Gundren.
boss? Gundren.
He's just mentioned
Gundren.
the name of Gundren, someone
So-
who he was traveling with.
Can I ask his relationship to Gundren?
Well, basically, we'll say that there's a bit I need to read out, I guess, just to help you guys
Okay.
get a bit of backstory. So, while you talk with Sildar, he says, I'll put on the face, I guess. Just it might look a bit weird because I have to look down to read. Here we go. Over 500 years ago, a pact was made between a clan of gnomes and dwarves, which became known as the Phandelver Pact. Together they mined the magically rich ores within Wave Echo Cave. The map that Gundren has. Human spellcasters from nearby Phandelver joined forces with them, and together they combined their collective skills to create a forge, to create magical items dubbed the Forge of Spells. Everything came to an abrupt end when the orcs, craving magical treasures, sieged Phandelver and the Wave Echo Cave mine. The battle destroyed Phandelver and much of the mine as well, as you may know of Phandelver's history. It caused various cave-ins throughout. Very few people survived the conflict to retell the tale. The Forge of Spells became legend and the entrance to the cave lost. But today, the Rockseeker brothers, one of which is my good friend Gundren, they were intent in finding and reopening this now fabled mine, and they managed to locate the cave. Their activity was never a secret, but a nefarious villain known as Nesna, the Black Spider, a drow wizard, has been watching and waiting for the dwarves to uncover this location. This drow desires to harness the Forge of Spells for his own purpose and has rallied bandit gangs and goblin tribes from within the region to aid him in this mission, which is why Clark had me and Gundren captured. I guess that's all I really know. Which is quite a lot, really. Think about it.
Very informative.
Yeah.
Just while that one wonderful story was being told,
Yeah.
obviously there's nothing really obvious up here, but can I just make a quick check to make sure there isn't anything hidden around that might be of interest?
Yeah, just give me a perception check, please.
Sure. It probably won't be very good because perception ain't my strength.
11.
That's an 11.
You kind of just see what's around you. There's a small campfire with some human arms and legs sitting in it. It looks to be some sort of preparation room for food, but also it's got bedding. It looks like it might be a multi-purpose room here. That's all you can really see. There's a lot of scuff marks that were leading in and out of this cave, and there's the smell of burnt meat filling.
Wonderful. Filthy creatures as expected. Okay, so I'm just going to wander back slowly, you know, kind of just taking in the scenery.
Nibbling on an arm.
No, not nibbling on an arm. Yeah, I'm just going to wander back. And when I get back to the bridge, just say, the cave's empty. It stinks. Filthy creatures. Nothing more to tell.
Lorros, you missed an incredible tale. Where were you?
I was just making sure that we'd cleared the cave of enemies.
Well, I doubt I'll be able to tell it again.
I'm sure you can tell me it while we travel wherever we're going.
Fair enough.
I assume that we plunder the caves for their various riches and things. Cheeses.
And Gundren Sildar just speaks up. There could be more coming back. I really would like to leave. I really hate this place.
Let's make like a log and get out of here. Like a tree.
Wise words, Mr. Byrem.
So what would you guys like to do? You've sort of got a bit of a backstory there from Sildar.
Yeah, I would like to go and search the horses.
You guys want to head back?
I think that's probably the best thing.
Oh.
Yeah, we should head back.
Do I have time to quickly grab a spare scimitar?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you'll have to run back up to the bridge and sort of...
I did it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect. And I guess at that point, as you guys exit the cave, we do find that you have completed Act 1. And what that means also, as you make your way out of the cave, you all sort of feel a sense of purpose and growth within you. And between now and next Monday, I'd really like you to look at what level 2 might look for you guys.
Done that so many times already.
Yeah. But that's us. You guys leave the cave behind you filled with dead goblins, dead wolves, a goblin leader, a bugbear by the name of Clag, and you head back the way you came, back to the tribal trail.